Peace and bliss, YouTube. Welcome to Reclaiming Our Roots. New subscribers, welcome. In today's video, I wanted to bring you all along. I am going to harvest my green bean plant and do some pruning. As you can see, it has some decay here on the leaves that have been disease stricken. So you want to remove those from the plant to promote a vibrant, healthy plant. I've already started, if you'll notice, in the box, I've already started to harvest some of the green beans, and I was like, you know what, let me bring my YouTube friends along. So, all right, so let's get started. I'm just gonna come in here and just snip away. I guess I probably could pull these, but I don't want to risk damaging the plant. So it's always best to have a pair of scissors with you, or pruners, to help with that process. So yeah, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope your garden is booming along in high production mode. I am starting to see a great increase in production in our neck of the woods. So I'm looking forward to bountiful harvest in the near future. So I'm just collecting what I can, or harvesting what I can as it becomes available. So I will continue this video beyond the balcony. I will take you all along. There's some tomatoes, some cherry tomatoes in the garden that are ready to be harvested, so I'll harvest those. Do not want to leave those on the vines too long, because I am not trying to share my harvest with the birds. So I will go out and harvest those. Also on the itinerary today is for me to pull up my, in front of the house, is to pull out, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank, is to pull up all of my beets. Those beets have run their course. I have pulled and harvested about a week or so ago. I have some in the freezer, and we're going to eat some fresh in our salads. And the rest, I think I'm going to make a beet ice cream. So looking forward to that. So I'm going to pull those up today. And last week I got some jalapeno peppers in the mail. They were on back order with my supplier. So I got notification about a week or so ago that they were available and they were being shipped out to me, and I'm so excited. For those of you who do not know what the jalapeno pepper is, the jalapeno pepper it's like a jalapeno pepper. It essentially is a jalapeno pepper without the heat. So I love spice. My children love spice. We love spice. My mother and my sisters are not big spice heads like myself, so they would enjoy the jalapeno pepper. But they do like jalapeno peppers, but they do not like it with all the spice. They reluctantly eat it, if you will, so they'll be happy to be able to have a pepper without all the heat. I forgot the name of this bean variety. This is my first year growing it, and I've tasted a couple of them, and they're really good. I will definitely be adding them back into the garden next year, or maybe in the fall. So yeah, I am pleased with the production. As you can see, the leaves here have started to die off. I had to order some fish emulsion, which is a fertilizer that I need to add to my pots. I realized that I hadn't added any additional fertilizer to my pots since I set up my pots. So shame on me. But see, that's the thing. When you're taking cues from nature and you go out and you look at your plants, and you go through a process of elimination, you know that they're getting an adequate amount of water, a consistent adequate amount of water. Yes, it has been brutally hot It's been a scorcher here in the Maryland area. I'm in zone 7A for the last week or so. So that can attribute it to yellow leaves and also deficiency. So just went through process of elimination. So okay, yes, we have had scorching temperatures as of late, but not to the degree where I think it would have, damaged the leaves to the extent that they've been damaged, turning them yellow like this. So I said, but I have not added any fertilizer to the pots. And it's always good to fertilize your plants initially when you set them up. Put some fertilizer in there. I use granules that break down over time. That'll last a good 4 to 6 weeks. And you should add more fertilizer thereafter, at least once a month. And that should hold you until the complete growing season. It should carry you to the end of the growing season. So yeah, so we uplifted 2 birds with 1 stone here. Don't want to say kill. So we built 2 nests here. So what we did, we pruned the plant, removed plants that have died off. We removed the leaves that have been riddled with disease. And we've also harvested the beans that are ready. So this plant will continue to thrive. Like I said, I ordered some fish emulsion online, so I should have that on Monday. I'll come out and give it a nice healthy dose of fish emulsion to revitalize this plant. Fish emulsion also helps with restoring chlorophyll in the plants, and not only that, it provides a lot of trace minerals that the plant needs, such as nitrogen, to help the green leaves, and to help it grow and thrive. And it also helps with production, a big deal in helping with production. So you want to get the maximum out of your plants. You want to be able to yield the maximum production. And in order to do that, you have to make sure you have the adequate container size. You have to make sure they have enough minerals, sunlight, and water, and consistent care in order to do that. So, but I'm going to stop here. Oh, I have some Swiss chard over here while we're up on the balcony that I could harvest. Give me a second. Cameraman, if you can't just zoom in over here, probably want to go around that way. Zoom in, there you go. And as I've stated in videos past, Swiss chard is an excellent green plant that is heat tolerant. I love Swiss chard. I'm going to add this to my smoothies. You can add it to sandwiches. You can do a lot with it. So, harvest what's here. Again, we're not going to remove all of the leaves because you want to leave some leaves so photosynthesis can stimulate the leaves and continue to provide the nutrients, the ultraviolet nutrients from the sun that it needs to continue to thrive. So I'm just going to get the larger ones, the little smaller ones. I'm going to leave them in place to allow them to get a little bigger. And then I'll come back in about a week or so and I'll harvest those. Okay, what else do I have out here that I can harvest today? Let's see, I have some basil. Basil. So cameraman, if you don't mind. Okay. Some basil here. We love basil. I'm gonna add it to my salads, make some pesto. And also I'm gonna dry some today. Dried some last year and I absolutely love it. I do not have a dehydrator as of yet. So what I did, I just gave it a good wash. I patted it down with a paper towel to absorb the moisture, placed it on a baking sheet, and put it in the oven, and you just let it bake until they become really dry. And then you crush them. And that's it. And you have basil flakes, or basil flakes. So I'm gonna harvest some of this Russian red kale while I'm out here. This is my first time harvesting the Russian red kale. So add that to smoothies, as well as my daughter, she loves making kale chips. So we may make some kale chips out of these. And cameraman, if you don't mind, zoom in on the okra plant. The last video I did an update, and I was telling you all that I started a second succession of planting, which included the Clemson spineless okra. As you can see, it's already sprouted. We have the patty pan over there. Still waiting on my yellow pear tomatoes. They haven't come up yet. I haven't seen anything come up on the Brussels sprouts. We do have some germination over what is it, the bright lights Swiss chard. So we have some we have some germination over there. And over here, as you can see, my cayenne peppers are starting to come up. So that's an update on that. And I think I'm going to harvest some of these kohlrabi leaves. So you know, with the beauty with a lot of the root vegetables that you grow, you can consume the leaves as well. Like the turnips, we ate the turnip leaves, beet leaves. I eat the leaves off of those. You can prepare them like a kale or collard. So, but yeah, you get multi-use out of them. So you want to consume as much of your plant as possible. You do not want to be wasteful. All right, guys, so I'm going to stop the video here, and I'm going to take you all on. We're going to go beyond the balcony and see what's available to be harvested out there. Stay tuned. Peace and bliss, YouTube. Welcome back to Reclaiming Our Roots. And look what I spy. Look at this. Look at this. Cameraman, zoom in on this. Look at this crime. Look at this. Look at this. See, this is what I could have to deal with. But this is what we all have to deal with, right? This is a green worm. And who likes to eat up all of your collards, your kale. You see that? And your cabbage. See that? I'm not going to kill them. I'm going to free them. But yeah, so this is what you want to look out for, guys, especially when you're cleaning and processing your harvest. Make sure you remove all worm life. Set him free. Okay, so we're in front of the home. I am going to pull up and harvest. This is the last of our beets. I'm just pulling from the base, pulling them out, give them a good shake. Add those to the box. Get these processed and cleaned up when I take them in. But yep, so this is the last of the beets. Like I said, I'm doing succession planting, so I will use this bed for some nano peppers. And I think I'm gonna put some okra in here. Or I may just make it all nano peppers. Or I may just make it all okra. I don't know. I'll do half and half. I don't know. You'll notice some of these bulbs are really small. That's my fault, because when I sowed these seeds, they were sowed too close. So as a result, the bulb cannot take full form. Ideally, you can grow a beet bulb as large as this, if not bigger, but they do need space for the bulb to mature. So, but I knew that after the fact. So I was just like, hey, it is what it is. I'm about to thin this bed out. So it had it been elsewhere, if I was sowing this directly into the soil, I definitely would have adhered to the recommended spacing. So, but it's not all a loss. I could still use those little bulbs. I don't know. again to my worm bin. Which reminds me, I will be upgrading the housing container for our worms, and I will bring you all along for that. So they have outgrown their little space, so I'm going to enlarge the housing for them, and I will bring you all along. So yeah, this is all you do. You just pull them from the base, give them a good shake, remove the dirt particles. Okay, welcome back. Sorry about that, guys. The phone overheated. It was directly exposed to the sun, so cut off. All right, so we're over here in front of the Super Sweet 100, and I am going to harvest some of the tomatoes. Some of these are orangish color. I don't mind that. Generally, I wait till they're like really blistering red, but I can appreciate the orangeness of some of them. And as you can see here, this one has already started to rot, and some started to eat on that one, so we'll discard that one. I'm going to move over here to the habanero pepper. I was out here earlier this morning, and cameraman, if you can zoom in there, and you can see we have some habanero peppers. This tree is loaded with habanero peppers. Habaneros, you can eat habaneros in the green stage when they're green. You can eat them when they're red. You can eat them when they're orange. I'm going to harvest a few of these, just a few, to give a try. And add them to a stir fry that I'm making this evening. So let's see if I can reach in here. Back. We've got a couple of good ones back there. Again, you always want to be careful. You want to make sure you're not cutting into your fruit, and you want to make sure you're not cutting the main artery of the plant. You don't want to kill it. And we have, look in here, guys. Look. We have ant plant production. Aren't they beautiful? Can you see in there, cameraman? See that? We've got a couple more at the top. If they all come into fruition, then I should have a total of 20 eggplants. I think it was like 22. Yeah, 22 buds I counted on this plant. I'm going to let this get a little bit bigger and resist the temptation to harvest this today. But these can get another 2 to 3 inches longer, so I'm going to leave those. And over here, you'll see in here, look at that. Look at that. Look at my little lunchbox pepper blush and turning all orange and whatnot. So I'm going to allow that to continue to change. And you'll see over here my plum, so starting to change color. But I'm not going to keep you all too long. But this is what we have today, coupled with this. So not bad for a harvest. So hopefully next week we'll have a lot more to show for. But I am happy with what we have. And cameraman, if you don't mind, zoom in on the cucumber plant. We have cucumbers coming in, guys. Look under here. And then I'm going to come out here. As you can see, some of the leaves are starting to die. Again, could be due to excessive heat as well as a nutrient deficiency. And I'm leaning towards the latter because I have not added any nutrients, fertilizer to the container since I started them. So shame on me. So and I think that it will help correct the problem. Can you see in here? Look at that. See now? And then we have one down there, and we have some more coming in on the other plants. Well, that concludes our video for today, our harvest video. I forgot to bring you all along on the first harvest that I did, so I thought about you all, and this is a show and tell channel, right? So I gotta share the goods with you all, right? So so that's it for today. This is what we have. in our harvest for today. So I'm going to take everything in, get it processed, get things soaking, remove the bugs and things like that, and get it all processed. So, oh, and you can see over here, camera guy, see we've got, since the last update, the habaneros are starting to come in. So the garden is really starting to put on production. I am so excited. And look at my Kellogg's breakfast. Look at that. Look at that. I'm excited, guys. Every time I come out here, I get chills. And there's always something new that the garden has to show me. And I'm just beyond giddy. So, without further ado, I'm going to end this video. Until the next video, I'll be back next week to bring you all an update on Beyond the Garden. And whatever's ready to be harvested, I'll bring you along then. Until then, like, comment, share. Please share my channel if you know anyone that would be interested in what I'm doing, growing in a confined space such as mine. Let them see that you can grow beyond your patio and utilize some areas of your property that you may not have taken into consideration to utilize a growing space. So, and always subscribe if you haven't. And until the next video, peace and bliss.